The last time Dale was here, he was under investigation by Child Services. He was being accused of putting a zip tie around his young son's neck and stapling him to a wall. And that's not all. He was also accused of giving his son a black eye, a bloody nose, and illegal drugs. The accusations even included molesting his own daughter. But Dale maintained that none of these accusations were true. Take a look at this shocking story and stay tuned because we have the update.
Crystal, tell me what happened 3 months ago.
3 months ago was the worst day of my life. I got my kids taken. I came home to the police and the CPS worker and a bunch of people at my house. And my kids were in the house. I came home to my son, and he had those marks around his eyes and the mark around his neck.
He had black eyes.
He had black eyes, yes.
And he had a mark around his neck, like what? Like somebody had tied something around his neck?
Yes.
And what happened? First of all, you know, you're coming home to the police and all these CPS workers and stuff at your house. Have they never been there before?
They have, just not as many.
Okay. So now it comes and you see a lot of people and you're like, what the hell's going on? You get there, you see your son, visible injuries, right?
Yes.
What happens next?
I had tried to ask him. He was scared and nervous, and he ran off. And I didn't believe that my husband had done that. So
Who told you that your husband did it?
A bunch of people was telling me that my son had told the CPS worker that his dad did that.
Yeah. So government workers were telling you this?
Yes.
And you didn't believe them?
No.
Why not?
I don't believe them for 1 minute because of the fact that he has never abused my children.
Who did you think did the injuries to your son?
Honestly, my younger son.
And you believe he gave your older son 2 black eyes and put like a rope mark around his neck?
Yes.
Has your husband ever abused you?
No. Yes.
How has he abused you?
In the past, we have gotten into heated arguments. He's pushed me. He's slapped me.
Punched you?
No, never punched me. No.
Just slap you?
Pushed me and slapped me.
Pushed you down to the ground?
Yes.
So if he'll do that to you, why don't you believe he'll do that to his own children? What's that?
You're right.
Now, the CPS documents reads that he held your son down and put a zip tie around his neck.
Yeah, that I don't believe that.
That is like pretty severe, extreme
Exactly.
torture, right?
Yeah.
A zip tie around the neck. I mean,
Yeah.
you could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Now, this one I don't understand. He stapled your child to the wall.
Yeah, that one I don't understand either.
How do you staple a child to the wall?
I really don't know. I
Pinch
would
their skin
assume.
and staple?
I would assume a staple gun.
Well, yeah, I would assume a staple gun. I'm saying you have to pull the skin out to staple him to the wall.
Right.
I mean, if he were to do this, he'd be like a evil person, right?
Yeah.
Does he give your kids drugs?
No, not that I know of. I'm always around unless I'm working.
Yeah. What's this about him feeding your baby drugs in a bottle?
That I don't believe either for a fact because, like I said, I've always had my kids from day one. And every time when he was on drugs, he would always leave.
Does your husband do drugs?
Not now, no.
But did he?
Yes, at some point, yes.
What do you mean at some point? When?
There was times that he did drugs before we had even gotten together the first time. He was doing drugs if and when and out of the relationship.
But he did drugs when he was with you, right?
Yes.
What
As
kind
far
of-
as I know,
what
I
kind
was
of
being
drugs?
told otherwise.
What kind of drugs?
As far as I know, it was meth.
Meth. You ever do meth?
No.
Okay. Now he's also being accused of molestation, right?
Yes.
Who'd he molest?
My daughter.
And how did this information come out?
It was a month later that the CPS worker had showed up with that accusation of him touching my daughter.
They took your children away?
Yes,
All of them?
yes.
And while she was in some kind of care,
Foster care.
she said that my father molested me.
Yes.
Do you believe your daughter?
No, I don't believe her one bit. Because I would have seen the signs.
What
Of
signs
her
would
being touched.
What signs would you have seen if you did see them?
Well, I know for a fact that she wouldn't go around her father. She wouldn't even look at him or talk to him.
That's not true. Victims are around their predator all the time. They're intimidated. They're scared. They have to deal with them a lot. They're so scared, you know. So that's not true. Why would your daughter lie? Let's put it that way.
I just feel that she would never lie. At
Well,
that
there
point,
you
I would
go.
feel-
You just contradicted yourself, though.
Yes.
Why would you, if your daughter would never lie, why would you say that about your husband?
I don't know. I've never seen.
Do you feel like
Him
you got
do
blinders
anything.
on?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Let's meet Dell. Did you molest your daughter?
No, absolutely not. That's my little princess.
Why do you think that's coming out from?
She's learning good touch and bad touch at school, and she's going around everyone, even her little classmates. If they walk in and bump into her butt or anything, she says they're touching her private parts.
So at no time under this influence of meth, you could have done something inappropriate?
No, I was never around my daughter when I was under the influence
You never
of meth.
came home under the influence of meth?
No, I would always stay away when my kids...
That's not true. I don't believe
that really
that. No,
is
I don't
true.
believe that for a second.
Yes.
You're telling me he never came home under the influence of meth. Where would you stay?
I would just
Sleep in the woods?
hop, my buddy's house. I had people's houses that was doing meth with me that I could stay
But
at.
you said you were on meth when you beat her.
Yeah, when I come home after a bender,
Yeah, so you were still under meth. So you would come home while you were under meth. So I'm saying, when you were home under influence of meth, maybe you did something to your daughter.
No, never.
Oh, no. But I'll slap my wife around. Did you ever touch your daughter for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. You told the truth. It's good, right?
Yes.
Didn't molest his own daughter. Did you ever strike your son giving him a black eye? You answered no. Did you ever strike your son causing him to spit blood? You answered no. Did you ever strike your son giving him a bloody nose? You answered no. Did you ever strike any of your children, leaving them with a mark or a bruise? You answered no. Did you ever put a zip tie around your son's neck? You answered no. Did you ever hold down your son so a zip tie could be placed around his neck? You answered no. Did you, I didn't ask you this question. Did you ever give your kids illegal drugs?
no,
No.
absolutely not.
Did you ever provide illegal drugs to your children? You answered no. Did you ever staple any of your children to a wall?
No.
Did you ever staple one of your children to a wall? You answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Dale did not tell the truth.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Dale? Why don't you try that with me? Huh?
Where you going,
Why don't
Dale?
you try to come be a
You gonna leave
man
your
and
wife
try
here?
that with a grown-ass man instead of some kids? Are you kidding me? Those are my nephews.
I didn't do this. I didn't do any of this.
You just failed the lie detector.
What are you
Are you
doing back
kidding
here?
me?
I didn't do
Why
this.
you would have passed the test, but you
I didn't black their eyes. I
supposed to
didn't beat
protect
them
those
or
kids.
nothing.
You're supposed to protect and provide them.
I have
Abuse
been.
them. They deserve love. They deserve to be taken care of, not abused.
I have been taking care of them.
Paul, not abusing them. And I told you before, and when I found out about this, I told you to come to my house and try that with a grown man. Huh?
I didn't abuse my son.
You want me to be a big brother?
I didn't beat my son. I didn't.
The little brother should.
Your son did have black eyes.
Yes.
You saw the mark around his neck.
Yes.
And your son saying, my dad did this, okay? Nobody's putting words in his mouth. He's saying, Dad did this. Dad is a meth head. Dad beat you. So the little kids that you bring into the world, little kids that, to every little kid that walks this planet, that mom is the universe, mom is God, they're looking at you and saying, hey, can you stop this maniac? I'm glad to report that the law has caught up with Dale, and I'm even more elated to welcome back his brother Zack, who helped me take a stand against this heartless, accused child abuser. Zack, glad you could join us. What happened after the show?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good.
So the law finally caught up with my brother. He was arrested and for child abuse, the second degree, more child abuse. He got out on bond though. He's got an ankle bracelet on, and he's pending some serious time.
So is he going to trial or?
Yeah, he's going to be, looks like he's going to trial in December at the end of this year.
He is charged with possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, child abuse in the second degree, child abuse in the second degree committed in the presence of a child, assault with intent to do bodily harm, domestic violence, previous conviction. He's a habitual offender. If convicted on all the charges, he could face life in prison. You know, when you hear, this would be terrible if he did this to a stranger, you know, if he was some maniac walking the streets and doing this to some stranger. This is what he's stapling his kids to the wall. I never heard that. In all the years of being a policeman, doing my own show, stapling his own child to the wall, putting zip ties around their necks, beating the hell out of them. You know, I don't know if we've ever had a bigger monster on our show.
Yeah, it's very sickening, and it really does hurt my heart.
Yeah.
I hope to see him go to prison and justice be served for the kids.
Yeah. Do you and Dale talk now?
No, I don't associate myself with anybody that does that to children.
Yeah.
And I make sure I keep my kids far away from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good game plan. He doesn't reach out to you?
No.
Where are the kids at, his kids at now?
Unfortunately, they're in foster care.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it might not be a bad place for him, right? Because it didn't seem like anybody that was standing on my stage that day could really take care of those kids.
Yeah, you're correct on that.
Is he still with Crystal?
Yes, him and Crystal are still together. I don't know what's worse, him doing this to the kids or a woman that stands by him.
But, you know, on stage, she said she was done. If somebody had did anything half as bad to my children, I'd be in jail, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to stay with the person that did that to my children.
No, definitely not.
So when these next court dates, do you plan on going to court?
Yes, absolutely. I want to see how the trial goes down and see how much time he gets and see justice be served.
You know, crazier things have happened. I gotta imagine he's gonna be found guilty. But either way, you have to let us know at the conclusion of that trial. You have to get back to us, let us know what happened so we can let everybody else know here. Everybody's very vested into this show. We all want to know what happens to your brother. We just wish you all the luck. Thanks for joining us. And we, you know, I'm sure you feel the same way. You say it yourself. We hope your brother gets sentenced to a long prison sentence.
Absolutely.
Take care, Zach.
Thanks for having me.